Good afternoon. I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. Hope you're staying warm on this Monday, January 26th. And on that note, afternoon highs across South Texas today will be in the 30s and 40s. Going to feel even colder than that as the Arctic front that rolled in over the weekend made its presence known across the region, let alone the entire country. AEP Texas began reporting power outages across the region as early as Saturday. The city of Corpus Christi opened several overnight shelters and warming centers to help those who are unable to find refuge from the extreme cold. CCRTA is also offering free transportations to those locations. Those can be found on the city's website at CorpusChristiTX.gov. Warming centers have also opened up for communities in Cameron, Hidalgo, Starr, and Willacy counties in the Rio Grande Valley, as well as parts of the Golden Crescent region further north. Regional crews like Victoria County Bridge crews were treating roadways leading up to the weekend to help improve driving conditions. Schools and public transportation across the region also experienced delayed start times due to the cold, and travelers flying out of airports like Brownsville South Padre Island International might deal with flight delays or cancellations due to the weather. Airport officials will continue to monitor conditions and provide updates as needed to keep travelers informed. Passengers can check their flight status directly through their airline or on the airport's websites, such as CorpusChristiAirport.com, FlyBrownsville.com, or FlyVictoriaTX.com. Before the Arctic front hit the region this past weekend, animal control and wildlife institutions were moving their animals out of the elements and advising residents to be on the watch for wildlife affected by the extreme cold, like cold-stunned sea turtles.
Over the weekend, we made it through the coldest part of Sunday and into Sunday night. Everything held really well. All the temperatures for the animals here at the aquarium did fine. We were very fortunate that we didn't see any freezing precipitation Saturday night into Sunday, so that made it a little bit easier for the staff to make sure they could make it in. But yeah, everything's warm, doing well. In fact, a lot of the systems aren't even calling for heat. They're that warm right now. So it was a good weekend. We got one more night to get through of really intense cold, and then we should be out of the danger zone for right now.
That was Texas State Aquarium President and CEO Jesse Gilbert. He said that on Sunday afternoon, 2 cold-stunned sea turtles were rescued and taken to the Texas Sea Life Center on Padre Island. He anticipates more reports of wildlife affected by the cold later today and tomorrow.
The water didn't get cold as quickly as we thought it was going to, so that's a bonus. Didn't drop below the threshold until yesterday morning, so that's a positive thing. We didn't get very many yesterday. I really only got one traditional strain cold stunned yesterday, but it just depends on how long. Typically last night was supposed to be the worst night, and today's the worst day, potentially. And if that is the case and it gets back up, I saw in the forecast that we might even get some sun tomorrow. So if we can get sun and above 50-degree weather, that would be ideal.
That was Amanda Terry, Director of Rehabilitation at Texas Sea Life Center. She said with another cold front potentially on the way, they might not release the sea turtles back into the wild just yet.
We got to play it by ear because the water temperature out there has got to be warm enough and a rising trend, so we don't just put them out there and cold stun them again.
Wendy Knight, CEO of Sea Turtle Inc. in South Padre Island, said they received their first report of cold-stunned sea turtles at about 7:30 a.m. today. Waters reached temperatures chilly enough to cold-stun sea turtles, and it could potentially drown them as they're not able to rise to the surface to get air. Knight said they expect more calls and reports of cold-stunned sea turtles today and tomorrow. Corpus Christi City Council meets tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. at City Council Chambers at 1201 Leopard Street. The city's revamped public comment session policies will go into effect beginning tomorrow, including the new start time of noon. In tomorrow's meeting, the Corpus Christi Police Department will present their findings of the Homewood Suites investigation. The agenda also includes the second reading of an ordinance to authorize an agreement for provision and sale of recycled water from Greenwood Wastewater Treatment Plant to Valero Refining Texas LP. The 30-year agreement enables the city to supply up to 8 million gallons per day of Type 2 reclaimed water for Valero's industrial operations. Also on the agenda is an ordinance authorizing the city manager or designee to execute a 5-year reclaimed water supply agreement premises with Lynn Hills Resources Corpus Christi, LLC. That will be for sale and delivery of up to 2 million gallons per day of reclaimed water from the Allison Wastewater Treatment Plant. Council will also review a second reading for an ordinance to amend Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone Number 2's operating budget to authorize a transfer of $2.1 million from Capital Improvement Reserve to the TIRZ Number 2 operating fund for the Briscoe King Pavilion project in District 4. City Council will also discuss appointing members to both the Corpus Christi Aquifer Storage and Recovery Conservation District, as well as the newly created Reinvestment Zone Number 7 board in District 5's London neighborhood. Full meeting agenda and public comment session sign-up is available at CorpusChristiTX.gov. A prominent immigration lawyer says a disturbance broke out Saturday at the South Texas ICE detention facility in Dilley, where 5-year-old Liam Ramos is being detained. Texas Public Radio's David Martin Davies reports.
Immigration attorney Eric Lee was at the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Detention Center in Dilley, Texas, about 70 miles south of San Antonio. He says guards ordered him to leave because there was a mass protest happening at the detention center.
Guards started to shout, everybody out, there's been an incident. So I left and walked out, and as I was walking back to my car, I heard what sounded like hundreds of children shouting.
Lee spoke to a client afterwards who told him the protest was triggered by the treatment of Liam Ramos.
That it was because of the kid from Minneapolis, Liam, is being mistreated.
ICE did not immediately respond to a request for comment. For NPR News, I'm David Martin Davies in San Antonio.
Dallas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett and Austin State Representative James Talarico met Saturday for the first debate of the Texas Democratic primary for U.S. Senate. Houston Public Media's Andrew Schneider has more.
Crockett pointed to her support for impeaching Homeland Security Secretary Christi, and she said dramatic changes were needed at ICE.
We absolutely have to clean house. Whatever that looks like, I am willing to do it.
Talarico appeared to go further, seeming to support the abolition of the agency.
It's time to tear down this secret police force and replace it with an agency that actually is going to focus on public safety.
Crockett also blasted ICE for targeting U.S. citizens in addition to undocumented immigrants. I'm Andrew Schneider in Houston.
Talarico is expected to be in Corpus Christi tonight for a town hall at Holiday Inn Corpus Christi Downtown Marina at 707 North Shoreline Boulevard. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. and the town hall begins at 6 p.m. In sports, the Corpus Christi IceRays ended their latest winning streak on Saturday with a 4-3 overtime loss to the Odessa Jackalopes. The IceRays were on a 7-game hot streak, including Friday's 5-4 overtime win against Odessa at the Hilliard Center. The IceRays start this week still in the 4th place spot in the NAHL South Division standings. They will hit the road this coming weekend to face the 3rd place El Paso Rhinos. In NBA G League play, the Rio Grande Valley Vipers defeated the Rip City Remix on Saturday 134-112 at the Ogden Arena in Edinburgh. They will be in Des Moines, Iowa tonight to take on the Iowa Wolves. In college basketball, UTRGV women's senior forward Charlotte O'Keefe made history by becoming the first player to reach 1,000 career rebounds as the Vaqueros took down Houston Christian University on Saturday 65-53.
I think I'm going to wait till it's over for it to truly hit me. Sometimes I remember that it's just so close to the end and I don't want to think about it. I wish I could play here forever. So yeah, I'm not really focused on the end right now, just trying to finish out these last couple weeks as best as I can with my teammates.
That was O'Keefe speaking about the victory and the milestone. O'Keefe recorded all 1,000 rebounds as a Vaquero. She also had her 6th double-double of the season, scoring 19 points and 22 rebounds in the win. In college tennis, the Texas A&M Corpus Christi men's and women's teams are officially back in action as they seek out their 17th consecutive championship season. The men open their competitive season today in a doubleheader matchup against Alcorn State, while the women follow suit tomorrow, also in 2 matches. All matches against Alcorn State will be neutrally played in Houston. In total, the Islanders have amassed 37 championships in the program's history, including 16 consecutive championship seasons. And UTRGV and Texas A&M Corpus Christi will continue their South Texas Showdown rivalry series, this time in men's basketball at the Hilliard Center, as the 2 teams face off in the latest chapter of their series and in Southland Conference play. And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.